Hey beautiful people, so today I am doing a really exciting video. We are talking about NFTs today. I haven't been this passionate about a space since the launch of social media. NFTs to me are such an exciting, such an exhilarating space. It really is a revolution in the way that we have wealth, and it is going to democratize wealth in many, many ways. Similarly to the ways that social media has made things more accessible and more democratized, the same thing is going to happen with NFTs. And I'm going to give you a full lowdown. I posted a video on Instagram. You guys put a lot of questions. We're going to go through them one by one, but I want to start by saying just a quick thing about NFTs, and not really about NFTs particularly, but finance and finance for women, because I have become very passionate about that specifically recently, and I'll tell you guys why. You guys know I am really a hardcore believer in women empowerment. I went through a lot of difficulty starting my own business as a woman, and I had to have my husband help me out a lot just to gain respect and sometimes just to get conversations going. But even having said that, we have so many women out there who are working now, who are busting their butts to make things happen, supporting their families. And still today, I wonder if we as women are really comfortable with financial decisions. I know we are comfortable working really hard right now, contributing to the finances. There's been a big shift there, but we still do not take control over our lives. I'm going to tell you guys a quick story and then I'm going to get into the video. For nearly 9 years now, HudaBeauty has launched products, and we have been, a company. We were a startup in the beginning days, but we were essentially, I've been a businesswoman. I have been a woman selling products to make money. I've been comfortable enough to go into a boardroom, to be strong, to be super alpha female, to do all of these things. But when it comes to finances, I always go to someone else to, check things. And I'm not alone here. There's a lot of women out there who feel comfortable enough to work, to contribute, but they don't feel comfortable when it comes to making really big decisions. We've got to change that. And then I had a meeting in November last year, and I met with someone, a really respectable woman within the investment world. And, she told me that, in order for women to really get involved in stocks or in the stock market, they actually tell their husband what stocks to buy, and they don't get involved. They just do not get involved. I myself want to get more competent in financial literacy. I have a degree in finance. I studied in finance, but I'm not going to shy away from it anymore. And actually, I understand them much better than I think. I don't know why I've shied away from them for so long. And most of us probably are the same way. Whether you're male, female, if you felt uncomfortable taking charge of your financial life or your situation, or you've accepted that maybe you're irresponsible, or it's just something you don't understand, well, it's time to change that. So I'm sorry for this long spiel, but I just want to explain to you guys why I got really into NFTs specifically. I'm going to put a quick disclaimer out there. I am not going to tell you guys which NFTs to buy. I'll give you guys a little bit of an explanation as to how I buy them. I'm not even going to tell you guys that you have to get into this space. This is just education. All right, so I'm going to get to your questions right now. I got a lot, and I'm going to go through one by one. And if you guys have more questions after this video, please put them down below, and I'm going to make sure to answer as many as possible. In the meantime, if you guys please don't mind subscribing and giving me a big thumbs up if you guys like this video. It'll be really helpful to understand exactly what kind of content you guys like. Of course, it will help my channel as well, so thank you guys so much. All right, so question number one, what does NFT stand for? The best way to describe NFT is, of course, the acronym, but the acronym really won't mean that much. The acronym stands for non-fungible token. What is that and what does it mean? Okay, NFTs are basically digital items that you own. They cannot be replicated. They cannot be taken. You own them. They're basically digital forms of arts, collectibles, anything that can be verifiably yours, and it's verified on the blockchain. The blockchain is essentially a public ledger of everything going on within the crypto world. If you look at one of the projects that I'm really heavily involved in, and I'm not promoting this by any way, it's just a project that I really love, World of Women. I've bought into it quite heavily. I have a rare image. She is on my display pic on Huda, and she has this beautiful night goddess appeal. She's like this beautiful purpley, like just gorgeous skin tone, like deep, rich skin tone, and she's sparkly. She just is just so gorgeous. When I put her on my Instagram, it's a little bit of a flex, but this is actually buying into a certain project that you believe into. So you're supporting it and you feel really proud about it, so you want to show it off. I love World of Women because they're all about women empowerment, breaking all those stigmas. So I do want to show that off to the world. Why did you and Chris get into NFTs, and how did you get into it? Why did I get into it? I got into it for so many reasons. I don't even know where to begin. I've always felt like crypto was the currency of the future. You guys have probably all seen a lot of the headlines within the news. Inflation is at 7%. There's been so much printing of money going on. I literally feel like keeping my money in the bank is just, I'm losing money each year. We've been investing in the stock market for a while, but I've been very, very bullish on cryptocurrency way before it popped off. I've been saying I think it's the future. And the reality is anything that democratizes money, that makes it a little bit more fair, and Bitcoin does do that because it does take it away from the institutions, the banks, and it does give it to the people. It gives you power. I really do believe that anything that does that is the future. That's my belief. I'm not saying it needs to be anyone else's belief. And the reason why I added that disclaimer is because you could make money off of cryptocurrency and NFTs, but you could also lose everything, and I've seen both sides of it. And so that's why I want to put that disclaimer out there. It's very important for you to remember that when you're buying these things. So I found a few projects that I was really into, and one thing led to another. You end up buying some NFTs, you get really sucked into the community. And I do feel like a sense of responsibility to the community that I'm a part of. And I love that. I love being part of something. And in many ways, depending on the NFT you buy into, it could just be really dope shit. That's just the reality. But it could also be a movement. The projects I've gotten into, I really do feel are democratizing the space within NFTs. And that's something I'm really about. How did you get started? Is there any specific knowledge you need? Oh my goodness. I have to tell you, you need to learn as much as possible. I'm happy to provide as much education and as much information as you guys need, but there's so many other amazing resources out there. You kind of can't go anywhere right now on the internet without people talking about NFTs or cryptocurrency. So there is an abundance of information. The one thing that you need to think about is who is providing the information. Like, do they have some type of motive? You hear a lot about influencers and celebrities pushing projects or, things that they don't necessarily believe in. And that's a little bit scary. So you need to be really careful. I don't believe that you should invest any money that you're afraid of losing. You really have to be 100% okay with losing all of it. There are going to be a lot of emotions created when you are in the NFT world. You're going to feel FOMO. You're going to feel excitement. You're going to feel emotions. I would not use those emotions to buy into any NFT. I don't think that is a winning strategy. And I think that discipline is really, really important. So being aware that those things are going to happen and making sure that you stop yourself when those things are happening, I think is really important. So be disciplined. Be disciplined with how much education you allow yourself to get. Do it regularly. Even good people who are amazing within the space are going to make mistakes because nobody knows where the space is going. So you really have to trust yourself. So when you want to get involved in the NFT space, you first need to be able to buy cryptocurrency. You're going to need an account where you can essentially buy and sell crypto. If you can't get into cryptocurrency, you're not going to be able to buy your NFTs. The one that everyone's kind of buying right now is Ethereum in order to buy NFTs. You then need to create your MetaMask, which is a bit of a nightmare. To be honest, everything is kind of challenging right now within the space. Setting up your Coinbase is kind of challenging. Setting up your MetaMask is kind of challenging. Once they become easier, I do believe the space is going to become much busier, which means, there'll be more buying and selling of NFTs too. So being in early is a little bit of an advantage. So if you do invest the time in early, even if you don't do anything, I do think it could be helpful. After you set up your Coinbase account, you set up your MetaMask account, you're good to go. You can now go to any of the marketplaces that sell NFTs. I do use OpenSea right now. I think that's the most common one. So what do you look for when buying an NFT? Ooh, I look for a few things. First of all, I have to like the art. If I don't like the art, I don't get into it. I have to feel like there's some type of relevance to it. Like either it's, relevant for pop culture or it's relevant to me. There has to be some type of something that feels like I feel attracted to it and I feel some type of connection to the art. I want to feel like I love the art. I want to feel like I love the project. I want to feel like I am here for what the artist is doing. I also like to see what they're doing for their community, what their community is like as well. All of the communities for each NFT live in the Discord. The Discord is essentially the forum specific to each NFT. So each collection has its own Discord. So what type of NFTs interest you and Chris? So a few projects that we love are really dope. I love dope projects. I go for projects that are really dope. They have some type of dope appeal. I think that's really important when you're investing in an NFT. What is the dope appeal? I love World of Women. That's one of my favorite projects out there. I love it. I love the community. I love what they stand for. I love it. I also bought into Deadfellas, which I thought was so dope when I saw it. It's also a really cool project by a mother of three, and she created the art and she was just trying to see what happened. She's created an amazing community, an amazing living for her and her family. One recently that I invested in as well is Alpha Girl Club, which I think is really, really cool too. I love it because it looks a little bit more like it has a Far East appeal, and I just love the diversity in that. I feel like Chris's projects are a little bit more of the expensive projects. He's really big into Bored Ape Yacht Club. He has a few mutants as well, which he's given to me. And then he also has a big collection of doodles. Doodles are really cool too. Now I'm sharing with you guys the collections I've bought into. By no means do you need to invest in the projects we've invested in. And I don't mean to scare you guys, but I also think you guys need to know the reality of the project. Some will be amazing, some will seem amazing and could change, and that's just the reality. Are NFTs NFTs expensive? They can be, but they can also be really inexpensive too. The thing that really gives them the most value kind of is the supply, the demand, the community, the artist. It depends on the project, right? The project that you get into. But it is truly the rarity, what is the status? What's the supply and demand? Who's also buying into that NFT that does provide value? There's a lot of celebrities, a lot of influencers, a lot of people of influence who are getting into the NFT space, and they, by default, just because they're into it and just because people want to be where they are, they do sometimes make those things more valuable. Okay, I feel like a lot of the questions that you guys have asked, I've been answering all the questions in different forms. I'm trying to find questions that I didn't answer. So this is an interesting one. Why can't I just take a screenshot? You can take a screenshot, but you don't own that NFT. If you look at it as a JPEG, if you think of it as a JPEG and not an asset, then you're not really understanding the fundamentals of the NFT. The NFT actually is a value. It's a unique project. It's a unique asset that person owns. If you take an image, if you screenshot something and you put it on your page, let's say we're talking about the Mona Lisa, and you take that image and you make it your profile pic, you absolutely are allowed to do that. You don't own it. Now, if you were going to do any licensing with it, if you were going to use it for promotion of a project, you'd probably get sued. Now, what's really interesting is a lot of the NFTs now are actually releasing full IP to their owners. So for me, for instance, in a lot of the projects I own, I actually own the full IP rights to that. So I could license it, I could, use it anywhere. So if I, the chances are if somebody did use that image for any reason of commercial use, I own it. I could potentially, I could tell them take it down. And if you think of it just as a JPEG, then we really are not grasping what it is. It truly is an asset that you own when you have the NFT. This is a good question. How do you know you are buying from a reputable source? So I will tell you guys, there are so many stories out there, and I would love to do a whole video on setting up your MetaMask and all these things, but people will set up something incorrectly. They will share their codes, their words, whatever security things that they have to protect themselves, they'll share it, or they'll click on links. That's a big thing, and they will get completely compromised. Even when it comes to buying NFTs, I only buy from verified resources, and that doesn't mean that only verified resources are good resources. There's probably some that are not verified. The same way that you see on Instagram or Twitter, any of these resources where you see like a little blue check, you see that also next to the NFT project. So that means that it's verified with that particular marketplace, OpenSea, whatever it is, would verify it. If something is not verified, I would not recommend going near it. It's just, you want to protect yourself. I always look for the verification. I always do my background search. I always try to get as much information as possible. And then I protect my MetaMask account and all those things as much as I can too. Okay, how many NFTs do you own? I'm not sure. I own quite a bit. I know World of Women, I bought them a little bit earlier, so I was fortunate enough to get into them right before they took off. I invested, I think I bought over 60. I think I wasn't expecting it to take off right away, and I bought like 20. And then it started taking off and I was like, shit, I should have bought more earlier. And so I started buying more and more and more. I would say I bought over 100, and I've only sold 3 of the NFTs. We all know by now that you support women in the NFT space, but what is your favorite niche in NFTs that you enjoy investing in? I mean, the women space is a little bit important to me right now, just because I still feel like it is a little underrepresented. It is changing very soon. So will I always be about women empowerment? Probably not. If it's always, if it's starting to change, I'll probably just be about empowerment, people empowerment, projects that I like, projects where the founders resonate with me, the projects themselves resonate with me. But right now I am a little bit more bullish on the women projects because I feel like they need a little bit more support. And so I want to support them just because I feel like that's part of my purpose too, why I have a platform. I feel like that's why I have a space to speak up. It's to try to support things that need supporting. All right, last question. Will there be a Huda NFT? I don't know. I'm not sure. I've definitely gotten approached to do a Huda NFT. I know my team wants to do a Huda NFT. Will there be a Huda NFT? Maybe, but I don't know if I would do it unless I really understood why I was doing it. There would have to be like some reasoning behind it. And for me, it would have to be about my community, about something. I'm more happy right now supporting projects than thinking about what I want to do. And I love being a part of their communities. When it makes sense, I promise you guys, if it makes sense, we'll do it and we'll do it right. I don't have any plans. Just to let you guys know, no plans right now. I feel like I could talk about this forever. I have so much to say on this point, and I would love to continue doing videos on this because I do feel like it's important for women to get education, for all people, but especially women. I don't know of any woman who's talking to women about this. And so I would like to be that resource if possible. So I'm going to keep talking about this all the time. So you guys are going to hear a lot of information on NFTs and just how to set up all this stuff, because I know it seems really crazy and really scary, but it's not that bad. All right, I love you guys so much. Thank you guys for watching this long video, and I hope it helped and it informed you guys. And of course, be careful when you go out there because it is a crazy world and it is evolving really quickly. You never know where something's going to go. So, you just have to constantly get whatever information you can get. And I'm always happy to share share whatever resources I'm using too. There's some really amazing people out there who are sharing information. So any help that I can do and connect you guys to other people too, I'm happy to do that. All right, guys, I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.